Hi, gang. Thanks for checking in for the Chocolate City Sports Break. I'm your host, Sonny C. And hey, was Ron right? Or does the story still have to be told? The Washington football team is basically in the midst of a solid playoff run. And it's going to be interesting these next few weeks. They play Pittsburgh coming up. Pittsburgh just came off a win against Baltimore. Very hard-nosed, sloppy football game, but a good win. They swept Baltimore. I don't know what kind of display of offense Baltimore was displaying. They need a receiver. They need a big-time receiver. I like Hollywood Brown, but they need that possession receiver that's going to go across the middle and make the tough catches. The tight end is I like the tight end very well. But that game was very sloppy offensively for Baltimore. They really missed Lamar Jackson. And Pittsburgh did enough to win. They did what they had to do. Ben Roethlisberger threw a beautiful pass, a risky pass, one of those don't throw that pass, good pass type of passes. It met his target and like 4 Baltimore Ravens just right in the pocket. Beautiful pass. Took some cojones to throw a ball like that in that situation. That's why Ben's a Hall of Famer in my estimation. But let's get back to this Washington football team for a minute. As you know, they're coming off the win against Dallas, 41-16. In a close game, I think people kind of get swayed a little bit by how bad Dallas played in some decision makings offensively. The infamous fake punt, double reverse fake punt. By the way, I don't think if you look in scheme, it was there. The receiver just had to throw it. He didn't throw it. He chose to run into a pile of Redskins. So I'm sorry, Washington football team defenders. So you had that play, in which the game was, they were only down by 4 points, I believe. So there was a tight game in the fourth quarter with 12 minutes to go. So that play was risky. Just the risk of it was risky. And Mike McCarthy he explained the play. He thought it was something that he was on board with, and he explained it how he explained it, and he felt good with the play. He was pinned down in questioning to say that with the game situation at that time being what it is, will you still defend that play call? And he chose to defend the play calling and support his special teams coach. So he's a stand-up guy in that sense. Risky, I wouldn't have done it, but hey, he did it and it was stopped. And then you had just the general defense just collapse again for Dallas. Dallas, they had no answer for J.D. McKenzie. They had no answer, obviously for Antonio Gibson. They had no answer for Barber down the road when they really needed to stop. Barber converted, I believe, not 1, not 2, but maybe 3 third down conversions. So in the end, Scott Turner's offense was able to show a number of diverse play calling. I thought Alex Smith left some plays on the field. Alex Smith took what the defense gave him, which was the check downs. Dallas defense was playing very stout. Like I said, this was a competitive matchup. This was not something that was a blowout in the sense of which we in terms of things. It wasn't a boat race game for Washington. This was a tough game. It was a rivalry game. And like I said, Mike McCarthy helped them out with the double reverse fake punt, which failed. Gave Washington the ball on the short field in the fourth quarter. Antonio Gibson was able to take advantage of a couple of touchdowns, and he ended up with 3. And also you had Montez Sweat batting down the ball, able to intercept the ball, and of course run the ball into the end zone for the deciding score. But this was mainly about, I think everybody was basically kind of appalled by how Dallas played. And it was a nice surprise, I guess, by what Washington was able to do and show some diversity into their offense. They're still not among, mediocre as far as offense. Their offense is starting to catch up now, and I credit that albeit with Alex Smith. I always thought Alex Smith under Scott Turner's father, North Turner's offense, when he was the offensive coordinator with Mike Nolan being the head coach when Alex was at San Francisco. I thought Alex felt comfortable in North Turner's offense then. So I wasn't too concerned about Alex picking up Scott Turner's offenses, and probably with the different nuances, considering what he came out of what Alex Smith had came from Kansas City under Andy Reid. So the gimmickry and the different, you saw the Fumbarooski. So they're getting confidence, and the offensive line played well. And, those are the type of football games that Washington can win. And if they stay within it, the main thing that's beating Washington is them beating themselves with these turnovers and these really horrible starts that they get off to. Once again, Washington shows some consistency in their offense lately. They've been watching the ball down the field, all being maybe field goals, but they like to get touchdowns. But there's always been a mistake here and there down the line in that drive that sets them back. But they've showed a lot of consistency, and they was able to sweep Dallas, their arch rivals. And a lot of people paid attention to this game. This game got 30.3 rating in this time slot. And, people say with all the social justice thing and whatever, people are still watching their football now, albeit it was Thanksgiving, not much travel going on. A lot of people were just staying put, and they just had the games on and stuff. And even the Lions got a 20-point-something rating, the Lions-Texans game. So I believe Washington's Dallas game, this game basically broke streaming records in the United States, or maybe, basically United States, and I think it might have been one of the most highest, if not the highest, regular season football game or Thanksgiving game in the history of the league. So, people are still interested with these two teams. They still hold brand, albeit I know the Cowboys brand is strong. The Washington brand is still how they've been horrible and pretty much putrid for the last decade or so, but they still hold a strong following. They still have some loyal fans. Regardless of the name change and what's going on over there. So it was a good game in that sense. With ratings like that, you wonder, will it be an annual, a game that we'll play annually? But I think the NFL likes to spice things up, give a lot of other people some shine outside of Dallas and Lions. They primarily host the game on Thanksgiving, so just to bring a bunch of different, and even with the third game, they got a lot more options for the league. But you look at those ratings, and I know that Baltimore and the Pittsburgh game was postponed, so that might have drawn people in traditionally, in a traditional sense with football being at 4 o'clock, 4:30, primetime game, and a lot of people, like I said, just settling in and watching the game, whether they were watching the game was watching them or they were watching it. So good win for Washington. They tied for first place, albeit the Giants, and albeit the Giants hold the tiebreaker by virtue of the sweep over Washington in 2 hard-fought games. The Giants' schedule is getting ready to be tough. We don't know if the quarterback Daniel Jones is going to be healthy enough to play with his status going forward. They don't think it's as bad as they initially thought. Colt McCoy is the backup. Colt McCoy will probably get the start this Sunday, and it will be interesting going forward. As far as Colt McCoy, because he's kind of questionable as far as his health in his career. So it'd be ironic if Colt McCoy leads the Giants to a playoff berth to the NFC East title. But I think the magic number is probably 7, maybe 6 and 10. Petrick, but what people don't understand, the bombshell is, the secret weapon is, the winner of this division hosts a playoff game. So, it is what it is. So we'll see how it go forward. But I like the team. I've always liked the team. I love J.D. McKissick. I love Terry McLaurin. I love Antonio Gibson. I love Alex Smith as the quarterback. I'm really starting to like our offensive line gelling. Morgan Moses playing the left tackle just out of necessity at this point is yeomanship at its best. So it's going to be very interesting going forward, and I would like to see a little bit more from the other wide receivers position. I'd like to see them win a little bit more. Maybe and just but that's going to come with experience. I don't know where Antonio Gandy Golden is. Maybe he's on injury reserve, but we got to get something from Cam Sims and Steven Sims Jr. We got to get those guys to win and get them incorporated in the offense. So we got to get more than one catch from them in a game. Just to give McLaurin some help on that other side. So that's it for me. I just thought I'd jump on. It's been a while. Good to be back on here with you guys. Tap in, and just been busy doing other things, trying to get little projects I got going on, trying to get them off the ground. So I haven't been too active, but it's good to be able to get back on here with this Chocolate City Sports Break. And we'll see you soon. And take care and enjoy the rest of your week.